يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه. Dear viewers across the globe, I greet you with the greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm reminding you that you are in the Oasis of Ramadan, and this Ramadan is the blessed month that every Muslim around the globe is waiting for it, because of the expectations that we have, alhamdulillah, in this month, and the blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us, that everything is prepared for us to help us, to give us support, so that inshallah we can access paradise. As we know that the doors of hellfire are closed, and the shayateen are shackled, the masters of the shayateen are shackled, and all these things that are done in the month of Ramadan is to give us support, and so that we can get as many blessings as we can. One of the things that we said earlier that we can achieve in Ramadan, this is something perhaps it becomes more difficult if these preparations that made for us in this month are not there. For example, one of the things is that the purification of our souls and hearts. How to purify our souls. This is a golden opportunity, because during the whole month we don't have equal opportunities to keep ourselves, to keep this balance between the soul and the body. Perhaps during the rest of the year, we are giving more importance to the body at the expense of the soul. And in this month, we have the opportunity to make this balance, to purify the soul by the fasting, by doing the prayer, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Holy Quran, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا, and قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ تَزَكَّى وَذَكَرَ اسْمَ رَبِّهِ فَصَلَّى. Yes, the one who can purify. We can purify our souls by doing the prayer, by doing the ibadat in general. And here is specifically the best thing that can purify our hearts and souls is doing the salat. Let's focus on the month of Ramadan from the perspective of salah, only salah. We have other things, of course. We have the fasting, we have the zakah, we have the dua, we have many other ibadat that we do in Ramadan. But I'll focus here on this particular ibadah of the prayer, of the daily prayer. We have the 5 daily prayers that we do regularly, and we have the nawafil and the sunan that we do before and after the salah. And add to this, in the month of Ramadan, we have a special prayer that's called Taraweeh, and we have a special prayer that's called Salat at-Tahajjud in the last 1/3 of the night. When you add these together, when you perform them collectively, yes, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prescribed for us, the 5 daily prayers, and these are the other prayers that we do. So this addition, when you add all these ibadat together, they work very well on purifying the soul or the heart. And this is something very important. I'm just reminding all the audience and all the viewers of this. This soul and this heart that we have is created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So no one can prescribe to us how to cure them, how to purify them, how to clean them except their creator. Don't tell me I learned from Dr. X or Dr. Y who has a couple of PhDs from Harvard University or from that university or from this sheikh or from the other, and he prescribed to me to do things like this and this. And no, 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 no. Take the advice, take the cure from the creator of this soul and this heart. Very simple. The creator is the one who knows, not the user, not the end user. Nobody can prescribe for himself what he needs, rather the creator. How to fix this pen is the one who invented this pen is the best one to advise us. The one who created this human is the one who has the capability of giving us the right cure and the right treatment for the diseases that we suffer from. Be smart and do this. Don't take the advice of those people who say that we know very well, we know about the stars, we know about the planets, and we know this and this and this. This is nonsense from the Islamic perspective. This is nonsense because we know that nobody knows the ghaib except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody knows about our souls except the one who created the soul. So the shortcut for this is that to take the cure from Almighty Allah. And as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in many verses in the Holy Quran, for example, وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ شِفَاءٌ وَرَحْمَةٌ. We send down from the Holy Quran, parts of the Holy Quran, some of the things, some of the ayat, some of the verses that causes what? Cure and mercy. So the Quran is the cure. The Quran that carries the word of Allah, the verbatim, is the cure for the diseases of the hearts that had been created by Allah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the heart and created the cure for it, which is the Quran. And of course, the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the way to cure ourselves and to purify the soul is not by man-made thoughts or suggestions. Rather, it is by divine-made words and speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This should be very well established in the minds and the hearts of all the believers. Since this is the creation of Allah, and since Allah knows best, so He will be the best one to offer cure and purification for our hearts. And the way we purify the hearts is by the Quran. The way we purify, and this is why you find a lot of improvement. Remember, I mentioned in previous episodes, in the behavior and in the actions of the Muslims is close to the end of Ramadan, when they get a lot of their prayers done, a lot of their ibadah done during the month of Ramadan. So what happens is that there is a balance between what the soul nourishes on, I mean the Quran and the Sunnah, and what the body nourishes on from the food that Allah created for the humans. So the body nourishes very well when it takes the halal things that Allah created, and it corrupts when it takes the haram things that Allah created, and this makes imbalance. The same thing happens to the soul and to the heart. It nourishes very well and becomes very good when it nourishes itself on the tips and the guidelines that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us in the Quran and in the traditions, authentic traditions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this way it is purified. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى قد أفلح المؤمنون الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون. So here in the prayer, the more you have khushu', the more your heart is cured. And that's why this is the interpretation of how the intensity of ibadah that happens to all the Muslims in the month of Ramadan is responsible for, of course, by the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is responsible for the purification of our hearts and the souls. So now we establish two things. We establish that Allah, we are confirming and emphasizing this meaning, Allah is the creator and Allah knows best. So Allah is the best one to give us the cure. الذي خلقني فهو يشفين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who created me and the one who has the guidance for me. So is the one, and if in case وَإِذَا مَرِضْتُ فَهُوَ يَشْفِينِ. He has all the knowledge of being created. And therefore he is the one who cures, whether it is psychological diseases, whether it is biological diseases. And here the curer is only the creator. Very simple logic, very simple thing to follow. But again, unfortunately, if we take our knowledge about the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from other than Allah, from the people who don't know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they deviate because they put their own input, their own suggestions in these areas. These areas are only divine areas, and the one who has full control on them is the Creator, is Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So why should we go to the created, not the Creator? Very simple questions. If anyone asks himself or herself these questions, he will and she will know the answer very simply. But unfortunately, still, some people are weak enough to resist the temptation and to resist the talks of human beings because they did not learn this lesson, that when you learn, you should purely learn from Almighty Allah. إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاءُ. The one who have the knowledge about Allah are the ones who know Allah more and are the ones who fear Allah more, so they don't say anything that they don't know about Allah. وَأَن تَقُولُوا عَلَى اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. One of the traps of the shaitan is to drag us, is to push us to say something about Allah without any knowledge about it. This is the worst case scenario. If you say something about Allah that you don't know, in other words, from your own thinking. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us to the truth and to give us support to follow the truth until we die and we meet Him on the Day of Judgment. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون.